That's why you're blocked. Blocked.
That's why you're blocked. You're listening to That's Why You're Blocked podcast.
All right, we're live. Sorry guys, my voice is a little meh.
There's literally nothing different about her voice.
I feel it.
There's nothing different.
That was a little itchy.
Okay, all right. So let's do some updates.
All right. Hey. Ooh, my bad.
First,
I am Carson Bailey.
Her being so dramatic about this throat thing, like it really makes a difference. Y'all should see her in here drinking her tea.
Bro, it hurts. Don't do me like that. Introduce yourself.
I am Chanel Shots.
All right, and this is That's Why You're Blocked podcast. I don't know. I just feel like my mouth sounds more wet because my throat hurts and I'm not swallowing as much.
Okay. All right, first we want to acknowledge how heavy this week has been for people who look like us. Do you have any comments?
No, it just, take breaks when you need to. I know, like, I was about to get back on social media, and I was like, oh, gosh. I literally have not downloaded, like, I'm on, like, mobile Twitter because, like, downloading the app, you're inundated with that stuff. And I feel like we've got to acknowledge it's not normal to hear and see all this death.
It's really not. I stopped watching the videos that people post.
I mean, like literally,
I don't need to.
I don't really want to click it. And the thing is, though, it's like you want to be informed. You want to know what's going on, but like that shit is really, really taxing.
Very much so. Last year around this time, there was a good 2 weeks I did not want to look at a screen, and I literally just I was a no call, no show at work for like 2 to 3 days straight because I just did not want to look at a screen. And at that time, everything was online. But I didn't even feel comfortable enough to tell my my place of employment that, hey, this is rough. Like, I really don't want to do this. And I live in a downtown, so there were protests going on all the time. And while I understand the protests, I support them. I mean, looting typically would happen at night, and I don't believe in telling someone how to process their pain. However, it was all just extremely heavy.
Well, no, it was very heavy. And I think that, like, the people who are looting aren't the people that are protesting. Those are two different groups.
No. Yeah. Okay. I think there can be some slight crossover. And I'm not saying there's anything wrong. Like
that was a very long pause. That bitch was pregnant as hell. She cut me smooth off. All right, damn.
No, I wasn't trying to. I just said, okay.
You were like, nope. Okay.
I thought I said, oh. But it doesn't matter. Go ahead. Finish your point.
Well, I think, well, at least that's what I've seen in the different groups. Even when I spoke to a police officer, he said that they're not all this, it's not the same, but they're being grouped in the same, in the eyes of the law, which is just crazy. Like, what do the police do? Like, because if you're missing, right, and like, all right, you guys, I don't know if you know, but I'm like a true crime buff.
She really is. She uses that shit as background noise to go to sleep. It's really weird.
It's interesting. I don't like scary movies, though. But either way. So basically, when you're missing, right, the very first 4 hours are like the most important to find that person alive. Most of the time, especially for an adult, you have to wait 24 hours.
Before you call it in missing.
Before they'll look for this person. Which I just feel like, why are you a resource if we can't use you when they're missing? Like, even if the person just ran away on their own recognizance, right? What's your job? What is in your job description? You know what I'm saying?
I do.
And then after every 4 hours, your chance of like being found alive after 4 hours is 50%, and then it goes down 10%.
I feel like the reason is probably 24 hours, even though, it could be a little sooner. I think 12 hours makes more sense. I think it's because I don't want to say all right, people freak out, but I feel like my mom is one of those people who she hasn't heard from me from 4 hours. She may call it in missing. Okay. I feel like it's to stop like some of the, I don't want to call it the smaller ones, but like someone's phone died, so you haven't heard from them.
I know, I get that. I'm just saying, so if the resources aren't going there and it's not going to like educating these officers to have better response time. So it's crazy how we're supposed to be calm as like pedestrians, like regular citizens, but the people who are trained for these combat, like these
shoot to kill.
Yeah, we're supposed to be calm with guns in our face. And we're supposed to be still. But, like, they are allowed to not be. I'm just saying, it just...
And call it a mistake.
Or they didn't know. And all this other things. Like,
did you hear that woman say that she thought it was her taser?
I mean, either way, I feel like even if you did wrong, that should not be a death sentence.
No.
Literally, like, my brother said he got pulled over earlier this week. And, like...
Really?
Yeah, this shit was really scary.
Wow.
He sent a message like, "Hey, I'm getting pulled over. Here's our location." Like, I like literally like busted out my room. I was like, "All right, everybody." I called him. I'm like, "Are you okay? Where are you?" And blah blah blah. And then like as I'm like trying to, because my mom just fell asleep because she was working the whole time. I'm like, "Get up!" I hear my dad like bust out the door because he was on his way out there. Like it could be really scary.
That's really wild. And see, the thing is, if my brother were to get pulled over, I wouldn't even think to call him because I'm like, I don't want him to reach for his phone.
Well, and that's another thing. Like,
I would be terrified to call him.
But like, okay, he texted this, so I'm like, I don't like. Where are you? Are you going? Like, what happened? Right. That's another thing. Like, how do you get in contact?
Get you. I'm just saying, like, the way my mind works, I'll be like, I want to call him. I want him because I want him to be on the phone with someone. But if he did a text real quick and he put his phone down, I don't want him to have to reach for it to pick up my call because he'll pick up.
Well, I guess I know. Thankfully nowadays you got like Bluetooth calling and like if your phone is connected. So I think that's what happened. But I literally was like, like, all right, I'm coming. Like, and whatever happened, like it's scary. It's
extremely scary. You should not think that I'm getting pulled over.
Have you ever been pulled over?
Yeah, I have.
And then that's
the strobe lights alone can send you into cardiac arrest.
Yeah, and that's when I got pulled over the one time, and it happened like twice in one night. Like I literally, by the time I got home, I was like bawling.
I've been pulled over at least 3 times.
Oh,
yeah, but I'm not as bad as you, but I'm also not a great driver. But I've been pulled over.
Yeah, bitch. I mean, how many times? I've only been pulled over once. So like.
I guess they just don't be out here. But
or they be out here on the really bad. Ooh, either way.
Well, I got pulled over. All the times I've been pulled over is in Virginia, and they really do not play. I think I've been pulled over in Maryland maybe once, and it was for a backlight. But Virginia will pull you over for I guess it's been more than that then, huh?
Yeah.
Virginia will pull you over for
anything, mad shit.
Literally for anything. And the first time I got pulled over, I went to school in Norfolk, Virginia, and I was headed back here, and it was at night, and it was an older black cop. And when I tell you I was almost in near tears, he was just like, just go ahead. It's okay. Go ahead. He could see like the fear like across my face.
It's a real terrifying feeling. I know when I got pulled over, the first time, I think the person like ended up letting me go because somebody else did something. Like they just pulled me over because I was going like I think it was 25 and I was going like 30 something, and it was like technically it's 25, but it was right before you get off like on the exit.
I heard if it's 9 you're fine, but if it's 10 you're mine. That's what I've heard.
Okay.
Yeah.
So and then what happens? He like lets me go because like somebody did some like his radio's going off. He's like, all right, blah blah blah. And then I drive and I get in on the highway and I'm behind a truck. So I am like just chilling. I'm like, we're not going faster than the speed limit. We're just chilling. We're not like let people pass us. We good. We just gonna get home. 5 minutes later. And then what I was so terrified was because I got stopped before, I took my ID and I just like put it back because I was just so ready to get out of that situation. So when the second cop pulled me over, he's like, "Where's your ID?" And I'm like, "It's somewhere in my car." I didn't see it immediately. And I was like, "Oh, is he about to like arrest me or like shoot?" Like,
yeah, it's so scary. My brother, he went to school out in Salisbury, and he was pulled. Oh, I think he got into a car accident or something. But they booked him, and he spent a night like in county.
Was it his fault?
I'm not sure. I think another car jumped out and he swerved. All I know is he had an accident, and I guess it looked like it was his fault. I don't think he tried to do a hit and run or anything, but he spent the night in county. When he says like it was, I think that type of experience definitely changed him. It definitely changes how he just views all of that. I think he was like 19.
No, it's really terrifying. I saw a video where I guess there was this little 5-year-old that was like in Montgomery County. It was like I guess skipping school, and this police officer grabbed them, like handcuffed him, a 5-year-old, brought him back to the school.
You cannot tell me you felt threatened by a 5-year-old.
And I mean, like the kid, the whole video is like crying. It gets
It's crazy.
It's
So
sad.
I have another story about Moko. I was talking to someone and he said that his second grade teacher, he didn't realize it until he was in high school, but his second grade teacher in Moko arranged classroom seating so that all the white kids sat in the front, and it literally like got darker each row. And like if you were walking that classroom,
I feel like it's one of those things where like you can't even reform any of this stuff. Like we've lived in a predominantly black area, and still the better schools, right? And
are the schools with the most white kids.
Yeah, and like they how they gerrymander their stuff to keep them. And
they
keep
don't
those
wear
resources.
uniforms. They have better sports. Like literally everything about this school is quote unquote better. That school was hella diverse.
I know.
Just in general, like you would think you were walking into a Moko school.
I mean, and so it's even in our beautiful black county, there's definitely like, I feel like as close to whiteness is always best. Mm-hmm. And we actually were having a discussion with one of our favorite guests, Cristal, about like, we were talking about celebrities and like the 1%. And we were talking about like black people and how most of the time their significant other is significantly lighter than them.
For
if
males.
not white. Yeah, if not for males. I mean,
and these niggas could be chocolate,
and a lot of times they are, and it's really weird. And it's kind of, we were racking our brain to try to think of a celebrity that we knew that was married to somebody who's,
or at least dating. We couldn't even find that.
Was darker. Wait a second, I thought about it. Ryan Destiny and that boy Keith Powers. Keith.
I don't know his name, but I know what you're talking about.
Technically, but I mean they're both brown, but I think she's a little.
No, she's darker.
Yeah, that's one.
It.
And then that took like 3 weeks.
Yes. So the other ones we came up with were That's So Raven.
And then, you know, the mother was only on the first 2 or 3 seasons. She didn't even make it to Corey in the House.
She went off to school in England.
How long was that bitch in school?
And Lil Bill.
Which is a cartoon. But they did a good job, I think, in the black family being different. There was this book that I found that was kind of like on brand what we were talking about. And it was, I don't know if you ever like Dear America. It's one of like the scholastic books. Mm-mm. And it was basically about this brown skinned girl in like 19, or this girl, her journal in like 1910 or 1911. And she had like Irish twins, and her sister was older, was a lot darker. Mm-hmm. And she was like fair like her mother. And the title of the book was like Color Me Dark. And what I liked about it is her dad was like, hey, you know, black people are like a bouquet of flowers. We come in different shades and sizes, but, you know, we're all beautiful. Mm-hmm. And that kind of stuck with me.
Yeah, that's pretty. My favorite book growing up was The Skin I'm In. And that was like a really good book about colorism, like, and just in general, but for a second to fourth grader could read it and understand it. But I like to ask people this question. When is the first time, like, you knew? Because once you know, you cannot unknow.
When was the first time you knew?
The first time I knew, so we grew up in PG County, so everyone around me was black. All my teachers, all my principals, everyone was black. In fourth grade, we had a mixed girl, and I went over to her house once, and I saw that her dad was white, actually, and her mom was black. Her mom was African. But my mom used to send me to white camps growing up. Mm-hmm. So when I would go to these white camps, and I mean like white, like
you
white
camps. The only camp
white water rafting.
I remember going to is like this ghetto camp. I cut this part out.
I used to teach there. Like, she used to do summer camp there because she's a teacher. But yeah, so she would send me to these white camps, but she would send me with black friends. She would send me with black girls to go with, and we would be in our cabin because it was a white.
Oh,
camp.
You went overnight camp?
Yes,
Ooh,
we went to
money.
We went to overnight camp.
How was that?
That's when I knew. I was like, well, these are some differences. The white girls, they were so freaking fragile. Everything made them cry. I don't know, it could be a stereotype, but that's when I was like, damn, I guess society really is set up to keep them comfortable. Mm-hmm. Everything made them cry. They were very extremely sensitive, like super entitled. I remember one of the camp counselors, she was older and she was white, and she was like, your skin's going to look like that forever. Or she was like alluding to black don't crack. And that's not I had never heard a white person like allude to that before. Mm-hmm. It was weird. They kept themselves differently when it came to hygiene. It was, yeah, that's the first time I knew. And my mom also, when I was growing up, I was a Disney freak, and she was like, why don't you have any black people on your wall? Because all I have are the High School Musical posters and such, because at a certain point, Disney kind of went white.
It really did. I feel like it was pretty diverse in the early 2000s, and obviously there was a shift in management.
Right.
Because, like, remember they used to have a little games where they had the 4 different teams and the different colors and all
Yeah.
that stuff. Like, right after that, the only black girl was, what's her name? China A. McLean. I think she was holding it down for a while.
Yeah.
But so
there weren't any black shows in
But by that time, I think we were like middle school.
Yeah, but the value in the black shows, we watched Proud Family. They had some really deep episodes. They talk about Kwanzaa.
Yeah, same thing with That's So Raven.
Yeah,
Sister, and all that stuff. It was honestly Sister over most of the shows that they put on Netflix. That series. That was, I feel like, the better one. Like, it was the funniest to me.
Yeah, it was funny. And it was clean funny,
yeah,
too.
And it was like, it didn't make fun of people. Because I know this is controversial. Everybody's favorite show, Martin. Honestly, I feel like living single over Martin.
Every day.
And it just because.
Every fucking day of the week.
Like, niggas really like Martin. And they be like, oh, yeah, we making fun of Pam. I'm like, but like,
most of those Pam jokes were off the top of his head. They weren't scripted, meaning that he thought about that shit and just said it.
And it's like, honestly, she's a pretty one.
She is.
I'm like, if we look at like what we're looking at, what it aged well now. No shade, no tea. I want them to put my wife and kids on there. I thought that show was pretty funny too.
I love that show. That's the type of marriage that I would hope to have. They are hilarious. Like, yeah, that's a pretty good show. But we are way off topic. But that's the first time I knew a combination of the white camps and my mom saying, "Why aren't there any black people on your wall?"
Okay, so I'm trying to think. When I was pretty young, my grandmother is a like fairer complected woman, and I was like, "Yeah, I know Jamie White." I was like, your grandmother is not white. And I was like, my other neighbor who was also like lighter complected, she had lighter eyes. I'm like, oh yeah, she white like Kayla White. And none of those people were white. They were lighter skinned. But I feel like I don't remember exactly when I knew. I mean, as you guys know, I was into like white sports. So when I started, paying attention to that, it was pretty clear. I remember one time I was at a swim meet and I was waiting for my mom to pull her car around, and there was this like little baby, like little white baby, like walking by, like leaving the swim meet, and I like waved at it and it like ran to its mother. Oh, I was like, yeah. But the thing is, I'm like really good with kids. That's normally not the response I get.
I'm crying
because normally like babies like really playing with me. I was that one of those people that'd be like, oh my god, there's like a little kid. I'm always like wanting to hold the baby and engage and all that stuff. But yeah, no, girl, I was like, oop, racism is taught.
Fuck the color lines. When I was growing up, my mom said that older white couples, when they would see me and my brother in public, because we knew how to act, they would pay for our dinner. They would pay for the table's dinner because they'd be like, oh my gosh, like it was shocking to them.
No, that's what happened. I traveled a lot, and that was another compliment that we would get, like, oh my god, your kids are just so well behaved.
Yes.
And my mom told me that's because she would we had our own like DVD players, and we would get the snacks while we were at the airport that we wouldn't get normally. She's like, yeah, I just would this is when y'all had your luxury items. You get the good candy, you had your own DVD players and all that stuff.
My first time, as a teenager, realizing, you had those situations where you're younger, like, is this because I was black? Me and my best friend, we went to Annapolis because, out in PG, there's never been a great mall in PG that has, everything that you need. Tanger is probably the closest thing, But
that's newer.
Exactly. So there's never been a really, really great mall. And even then, that's a strip mall.
And
so you go out, right. So you go out to Annapolis anytime you want something nice.
Every time you go to Annapolis, you run into at least one or two people.
Most definitely. But
it'd be crazy.
In Annapolis, with one of my best friends, we were maybe 13, 14 in the Macy's dressing rooms trying on clothes like fucking teenage girls. And this manager, or I guess this white Karen, she was like, are you all supposed to be in here? Really questioning us. Mm-hmm. She didn't question nobody else up in there. And it was just thinking back, was that?
I remember being followed around in stores and stuff like that. I've had those experiences.
Craziness.
But we're completely off topic.
We definitely are. Are there any more updates? We'll just to wrap that up. Take the time if you need it. It's a heavy life, but
Yeah, we and if you want us to go, we can talk about that obviously for days. But so the reason that we brought that up is because, and also we want to apologize for not having an episode last week. Some weird shit happened. Don't even know how to describe it.
Don't worry about it. It's fine.
So we're back now.
I took a mental health week.
Yeah, and I think that's why my throat is sore, because I had a staycation and I left the AC on.
All right, do you have any other updates?
Weight update. A bitch weighs the same. I really haven't been working out. So prior to like the staycation stuff, I was like, all right, we're gonna start on Wednesday. And then that's when I had the staycation. I even bought gym stuff and I just didn't do it. I just like lounged around, because you know how lovely that feels, just to be at peace.
If I'm on a staycation, I'm not trying to work out.
So like the next day I'm like, all right, we're gonna get up and get it popping. I woke up with a sore throat, and that was like Thursday. So it's been a minute. I'm waiting for it to run its course.
True. Okay.
But all right, so let's get into this week's episode.
I'll give a quick update. So I'm crippled in like more than one way.
Oh yeah.
So I went on a walking date a week ago, and I was like, I love the scooters. I'm gonna preface that. I love the scooters. They're so much fun, like the ones that you can ride downtown. And I'm
sorry, I just thought about this past 2 weekends ago.
Yeah.
Our good friend Kennedy wiped out while riding the scooters. And y'all niggas, that was really wild.
So I like riding them. And usually, I'm not going to like, I've fallen off a few times, but it's never been super serious. But I was on this walking day, and I was like really convinced this guy. I was like, hey, let's ride the scooter. Like, they're really fun. And if you fall and you bust your ass, I'm going to laugh at you. Karma. So I was riding behind him, and it kind of like stopped like suddenly, and I went one way and my knee went the other day, and I heard a lot of popping.
Oh, that's not good.
When I tell you, I wanted to cry so bad. But I mean, nothing's broken. We were able to, I was able to limp. Well, he walked with me, but I was able to limp back home and okay. So I'm trying to secure the knee for hot girl summer.
Yeah, I've been trying to bully her into wearing her brace.
And a cane. I look like a fucking old lady. I'm not doing the both combination. You should just see the people at my job. And these people are literally like twice my age. There are people who have never spoken to me at my job who look at me like, are you okay? I was fine before too. It's okay. Don't feel bad for me. Yeah. A little bit of my hot girl is also crippled, but that person listens, so I'm not gonna say.
What do you mean?
Excuse me?
Are you getting on air and talking about
No, I'm not.
Okay.
We're going to continue.
That's an insider, obviously.
Yeah.
Sorry, guys. But tell her she can't do shit till after we go on vacation.
Carson doesn't want me to be happy.
It's not that. I just, like, honestly, all the stars have aligned to where all my friends are, like, legit, hot girl single. Like, y'all ain't got no niggas. And everybody just, as soon as that happens, as soon as everybody is free, bam, y'all just want to get niggas. In the summertime.
It's a hot girl summer. Just pick me up after.
Oh my God, how many times is this bitch gonna say that?
That's my phrase for the summer. Like, it's hot girl summer.
It's not even the summer yet.
I still want a nigga to come pick me up after.
Whatever, bruh. Whatever. Well, I hope you find your happiness. All right. So
she doesn't.
I do.
So,
all right, let me pause this real quick, because I couldn't believe that Baltimore really doesn't have a nightlife.
A scene.
I could not wrap my mind around it. I couldn't fathom it.
We went to two different ones. We went to Fed Hill and we went to Fells Point. Now, I will say, I mean, it's April, so it's possible that maybe it's more popping like in the summer.
It seems like it'll be. It's one of those things where like there's probably like a day or two where it's like lit.
Mm-hmm. And that could be a Friday night, because we went out over a month ago and Friday was more popular.
Yeah, I think it might be just Friday night.
Yeah.
We picked a bad night.
Yeah.
But somebody told us to go out the county, right? Mm-hmm. So maybe we'll try that and go to a hookah lounge. But while we were out, we were like, you know what? Fuck it. Let's just ask these niggas some questions.
Yes, but before we got to this point, we had a few stops. So Carson comes over and we go to Target.
Oh, okay. No, prior to that. So as we know, I'm not a NASCAR driver. I don't like to do it. I'm just the only one with a car in our friend group at the moment. So what do y'all pray for at night? I pray for all my friends to get cars so I can stop driving, because I really don't like it. I don't ever want to do it. Honestly, like, if you really want me to go on a date, offer to drive, because I'm more inclined to say yes. All right, so I pulled
up a lot of weird shit.
It was all right. So it took us 30 minutes.
Mind you, the Target is 2 to 3 miles away from where I live.
All right, but that's still like, city miles. So that's like a good 15 minutes. But it took us so long to get to Target.
Y'all, she missed 3 turns.
Not all of them were my fault. She was my GPS, and the GPS was like, you know what? Just keep going straight.
She hears left and goes right.
I'm gonna cut that out. So that's not even gonna be in that.
Wow.
Yeah. But all right. So while we're driving, we a lot of other cars are doing a lot of crazy shit, and I'm like, it's not just me. Like, this is stressing me out. Literally, while we were driving to Target, in the middle of the road, there are 2 cars simultaneously just in reverse down a whole block, and and it's like where we're supposed to turn right. We were turning right, and like the car was just in reverse. They were just driving in reverse.
And what's funny is we almost started making a game out of it. By the end of the night, we had seen 4 cars do that.
Yeah,
total.
Yes, it was.
And the last one he was going for a minute in reverse.
He was fast too. And what else happened? So we get to Target. It wasn't too much, and then we come back, and we had a tough time finding parking. And like as we're driving around, Baltimore and Philly niggas like they bikes. And, I'm supported. That's how like, the summer's coming. You see niggas in their bikes. I'm like, all right, warmer times are ahead.
Right.
So I'm about to make this right turn. And this is a guy with a bike that looks like he was going to go straight. And, like, I'm like, bro, I'm not going to hit you. You could see by my car, like, I'm not the one to gamble with. Like, my car done been through some things. Like,
he proceeds.
All right, so then I make the right turn, right? And so then the car, like, he, like, drives by our bike, and then we're at a red light. And so while we're at a red light, he then, on his bike, laps our car around, like, 2 times. And in my head, I'm like, bitch, is this some gang shit that I don't know about? I'm like, because it's like, my car is dirty, and it's got, like, scuff. Like, this is not a car that you would want to rob. Like,
and he's, like, doing tricks. So he's not even riding normally.
He's like, one leg up.
Yeah.
And the thing is, like, my cars also have tints, so it's not like you could really see us on like from the side. And also, Chanel told me that I looked like a slave when I pulled up. So like, it wasn't because I was cute. It was very scary.
I mean, yeah, I should have seen it. She had the Cleo braids and the
She was just an actual hater.
Yeah, okay. All right, so there was a lot to get to this night. So then we get a call from our friend Kennedy, and she kind of helps us out with the topic for today. So we decide...
Our other honorary member.
Huh?
Our other honorary member.
Oh, yes. So we decide to go out and just ask niggas questions, like, on the spot. Like, we're out. Mm-hmm. They're out. Obviously, they're in this game. We're in this game. So let's do this. Oh, wait. We can do the shit that comes to our phone. So very quickly, I've been trying not to ghost people that I don't want to talk to, or that I just kind of like, I want to put it this way.
Doesn't want to be a bitch.
Oh my gosh. I don't, or people that I kind of want to reserve for like a different time period. But I don't want to put you on layaway. Like, I don't want you to be texting me every day, thinking this is going somewhere. Mm-hmm. So I started sending my very amicable HR messages, and I even sent them to Carson. Like, okay, this
I was telling
airtight
her,
here.
All right. So prior to her exchange, I would tell her I would do the same thing, and she was like, "I don't get it." Like, like she would laugh at me until it finally happened to her. So what happened? You sent an HR message. Give me a gist of what it says.
It says, hey, we've been talking for a while. I think we may be on 2 separate pages or something like that. Or
energy was off.
I didn't feel a spark. I didn't say that. I just said like something like, I feel like we're on 2 different pages. And also I'm just, my knee really had been bothering me. So I really wasn't feeling like going out or anything like that. It's like, hey, maybe in a few weeks, I can hit you up and we can try this again. And it was very amicable, like airtight. It was like,
can I wish you the best,
Yeah, I said that. I wish you the best. It ended like that. I wish you the best in all your endeavors. Ladies, you should try. Just become an HR representative when you want to break free from these niggas. And he was like, why? And I was like, excuse me?
Cut it out.
Basically, cut it out. Basically. And I was just like, I don't even think I remember like what I said after, but sir, what do you mean? Why would you want to continue to talk to someone who I was trying not to ghost. And it's not because I think it's bitchy if you do. Like, I've ghosted before. It's just, I want to try to be better because I feel like I would appreciate it, like, if men didn't ghost. So I'm trying to be about, a woman of my word. Trying. Making it hard.
I don't know.
He said, why?
I feel like it's a race to see who's going to ghost first. I think I've told somebody that. Right now, we're just seeing who's going to ghost first. So every day you text me, it's like, not you.
She really be saying
not me.
These niggas, like, I really don't know why.
I like this is actually like something I have said.
I mean, I feel like you pretty much know if you want someone.
Yeah.
Within like the first week, honestly.
Okay, that was getting to segueing into our questions. Wasn't that one of them?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, not so much ghost, but like what category you want to put people in.
Or in the sense we're asking, like, how do you know when you want to be serious or not?
So, that was the shit that came through my phone. Is there anything that came through your phone this week?
None interesting.
All right.
I really haven't been fucking with people or talking to them. I don't know. Just my hotline don't bling. I literally texted a whole bunch of people for this content. So, and I'm really shocked at the people that answered. The last time I texted you was January or December. Why are you responding to me?
No, niggas just don't care. They just be waiting for an opportunity.
Like, bro, I left you on red like 4 or 5 times.
Have some self-respect, man.
But honestly, what I don't get is like, I'm like, all right, bro. Yo, I don't want to play my, like, if you're not interested, just say that. I'm not, all right, that's fine. I'm not interested. And then you still text me back. Like, literally.
Or ask why. I think it's more like a conquest thing for them, honestly. Where it's like, oh, she doesn't like me. Let me.
But I felt, all right, and this is ignorant. It's very ignorant. But, like, they're already smashed. Like, leave me alone. Isn't that what happens?
This girl was. I wasn't going to say that. I wasn't going to bring that up. But this girl.
All right, they don't. they don't listen.
Legit confused.
Am I confused? But this particular person, like I said, we mentioned him before. He wants us to have depressed babies.
Also, the one I was thinking about, but
yeah, don't put me on Front Street like that. Relax.
Yeah, okay. All right, so we took to the streets of Baltimore last night, trying to find a scene.
We should do this in DC.
We should. This is probably just a part 1. So this is called Survey Says. Part 1. And this is survey that we're asking men. I also think that we should flip it and ask women, like the opposite of these questions, or just, in general. But we took to the streets of Baltimore. Number 1, we were looking for some type of scene, for the summer or just in general. I don't know what we found or...
We didn't find anything. I'm sorry, but like I literally was like, there's just no way that this is like a downtown without I just couldn't fathom that niggas would really drive 45 minutes for a social scene.
Yes. So every time I ask someone who's from Baltimore, where do you go to hang out? They're like, DC. And I'm like, but why?
We should go to Philly and do this too. Okay, we're gonna have a series, and then we're gonna go to New York.
But basically, we figured out why they go to DC. It's just more of a guarantee. Like Baltimore's a very.
It seems like we've been to certain things that was cool, but like obviously it's not a consistent thing. You kind of know what you're gonna get on U Street for the most part. Yeah. Like some nights are probably better than others, but it's U Street.
Yeah. All right. So the questions, we're going to start with question number 1. And for this one, we got a lot of the same answers. So I guess a lot of.
Wait, I want to savor that one. That's a good one. I want to end with that. We might play somebody's voice notes.
Oh, yeah. Okay. So we'll make that one last. Okay. So the question we're going to talk about first is, how do you feel about being on a woman's roster?
All right. So when we asked this, a lot of guys were like, what do you mean? And I was
it's like they couldn't fathom like a woman would have a roster like they would.
Like openly. But for the most part, they were all under the consensus of like, all right, if that's what type of time we're on, I have no problem. Like I can't get mad. But also, niggas be lying.
Yeah. If you were boyfriend number 4, you would have an issue with it.
I don't know. You have a nigga that's claiming to be boyfriend number 4.
I feel like he says that though to shield his own feelings. Hey. Honestly. And
that particular guy... is playing with me. I just don't believe he don't got friends. And I know that you're listening, and we are talking about you.
Oh, yeah.
Hook a bitch up. That's all I'm saying. I just want a little shimmy.
So So the one that she's talking about, so we called him last night. Well, I FaceTimed him, and he was out at the gym. This is like 12 a.m. I'm actually surprised he answered, because if we're grandmas, that man is decrepit.
I was like, and we mostly grandmas. Some of the people that texted me, like, you were up late. I'm like, yeah, it's not a habit.
Yeah, don't text me or call me at this time. Yeah, so
not somebody that I'm like, bro, I'm not awake. Leave me alone, bitch. Go to bed. But
so he answered, and I think we asked him this question, and he was like, it kind of just depends on where he falls on the roster. But this man has also told me if I went on a date, he would not want to know. He said, don't tell me. He literally said, lie to me.
Hey, bro, I respect it. Would you want to know?
I don't ask questions I don't want the answer to.
Well, that's on period. I feel like that's the best way to live.
I do not ask questions I don't want the answer to. You telling me that you went out and you did not specify, or you telling me you went out to eat and you did not specify that it's with family or friends?
Even that, you know what? It's just,
I'm good. Yeah, I'm not asking any further questions. I feel like you should not ask,
because the one time, I think I said it, the one time I did like snoop on somebody, I was like, I wonder what my number is in this person's phone.
Oh, yeah, you did say that.
Yeah.
Nope. Not doing it.
Girl, it said wifey, and I'm like, oh, my God, is that me? And it wasn't. And I was like, oh, my God, put
exactly.
this shit
back. For one, I don't think that we should demand exclusivity from someone if we haven't had that conversation.
Yeah, you should always have
And I've recently been having conversations with men like, oh, yeah, so this is dating, right? So this is dating. And I've also told someone, hey, we're talking. We talk kind of consistently. Don't listen to this episode of the podcast because I still need content out here. I don't want you to get your feelings hurt.
Cause she a whole fucking bakery out here cupcaking.
Oh my gosh! Again, Carson doesn't want me to be happy. But yeah, so he was like, it depends on where he falls on the roster. And then there was this old man outside, like, make him 2.5.
Because you like boyfriend number 4. He's like, not number 4. He could be like 2.5.
I was crying.
I feel like, yeah, I live on that, that Navy old saying, don't ask, don't tell.
Seriously.
But I think that at a certain point, you should, if you really want, like, shouldn't guess.
No.
But have you been, like, has a guy ever asked you and you've been honest or dishonest? Like, if a guy were to ask you, all right, are you talking to anybody else?
Well, majority of the guys that I meet now are on dating apps. So I'm like, well, didn't you meet me on a dating app? Like, that's usually my follow-up question.
Okay.
Like, if you thought I was attractive and enough to talk to, like, why wouldn't you think that someone else would?
What do they say to that?
Nothing.
Period. She leave us speechless.
I don't know. I mean.
All right, I'm not going to lie. I feel like I say, I don't like talking to multiple people. It makes my anxiety bad. Which is true. But
that don't mean, okay, so
that don't mean I don't.
Exactly. Anything, I like a strong 3 to 5. Anything beyond that, I'm like, this is too much, and I have a job. I can't keep up with this.
It's a lot. This should be stressing. Like, at a certain point, I don't know how people have, like, I saw this guy had, like, 18 girlfriends. And I'm like, bro, I would love to have him write a book about time management.
Please.
Because how the fuck?
Please. I feel like over the summer, we should definitely do an interview series with people who have interesting dating and relationship lives. If that is you.
Email us or
in the DM or something.
I'm not gonna lie, I've not been a good job on social media. Like
by the summer, I feel like we'll be back on it.
I need a break, but like DMs don't expire unless you want to send them.
So, also some responses we heard for that particular question is, if we're both single, it's cool, just don't leave nobody on. And that was from the nigga who was outside a club, and he had to be crossfaded.
That man was kind of like fucking rude, and I was like, bro.
He was like, so what's the point of this?
And I was like, honestly, I was like, girl, don't even ask this nigga a question. Like, relax.
You're in line smoking a black and mild.
We're good. We're not interested. It's okay. And it wasn't even that cute or tall, but like we were just like, fuck it,
Yeah, we just went up to dudes who were in groups.
Yeah, and that didn't have girls.
A lot of bang for the buck.
There was not a whole bunch.
He was like, you all would want to fuck with us too. Like, you all would want to, yeah. And then his friend was off to the side like, nah, I'd rather be a side nigga, bro.
He said, I'm a side nigga. And I was like, hey, I respect it. Know your role.
And the third
could you be a side woman?
Was embarrassing of both of them. He didn't say much.
Because I think he was in a relationship. He's like, I am not getting in
I'm
trouble.
Just here for the night.
Yeah.
Well, that brings us to our next question. We asked, and we started off with the Uber driver with this one. We asked, are you siding material? So to answer your question, I ain't side chick material. I'm not. I'm take me home to your mother material. I'm brunch material. I'm not side chick material. we're all sharing at this point, like being like dating, we're all sharing. However, knowingly sharing, like knowing that you're the side openly saying it.
Yeah.
I can't. And also, I respect relationships. So I try, once you have a girlfriend, I don't want to talk to you. Honestly, like unless we've already, we're cool, we've been platonic friends and nothing's going to change. But if we were talking at one point to try to like date or whatever, we don't need to speak. You're taken, we're good. Don't slide in my DMs, please.
I mean, I'm not. I feel like my mom said it best. If we're all on the same playing field, then that's cool. But like if none of us matter, that's fine. Like if you're just dating to be out, that's cool. But I know I've found out that like I was I guess an option or something, but I don't think I could do it willingly. Mainly because y'all niggas don't have enough money for that.
So I'm saying, like, you want 2 unsatisfied bitches walking around town? just. But
there's this one time where this person would like hit me up, and I'm like, I thought you had a girlfriend, and then they were like, nah, and I like go over there, and they're like, oh, I can't do this. I'm gonna cheat on my girlfriend. And I was like, I can't cheat on. Like they had performance anxiety for cheating on their girlfriend. I'm like, bro, why would you?
And the worst ones are, oh, I thought you knew. What? Excuse you?
No, because you lied to me. So
no. But when it came to dudes, the Uber was like, he plays his position.
Yeah, he was a Jamaican man.
Yeah, and he was like, if I wasn't looking for nothing, he would be cool being on the side.
I feel like niggas have more feelings than they be letting on.
I think so too. And that's one of our questions that we'll get into as well. But some of the other dudes were like, nah, I'm valuable. That was a direct quote. No, period. I'm valuable. No, everything goes through me. No, I wouldn't because I'm the shit. That's the dude I sent the HR message to. And I'm like, are you the shit? Because I leave you on red a lot. And you still respond.
Yeah, I love this stuff.
Okay. And then one guy said it was more of an age thing. So when he was younger, he was like, yeah, I was cool with that. I've heard someone say, yeah, I was cool being a little mac and cheese every once in a while. a little side dish. But at a certain point...
I think that's true, too.
Yeah.
It's kind of like, at a certain point, the don't act, don't tell policy is cool. But, like, after a while, feelings, you get older, like...
Yeah, he said once it hit 24, he was like, nah. Like, either we're talking and it's us, we're dating, like, but if you already have someone, stay over there, which is cool. All right. Stay over there. Yeah. Okay, next. I don't think we asked too many guys this question, but is there a special satisfaction knowing that you got over on a woman? And
we didn't really ask that one.
We got one response. The one response, which honestly I think is a pretty telltale signs of niggas, he said, I wouldn't even think about it like that.
Yeah.
And I'm like...
That was a really honest answer.
Yeah, and I described it, and I think with that one, I went into real detail because I was like, dang, it's almost the end of the night, and we haven't asked this one question. But I was like, so you were interested in a girl. She told you up front, like, what she wanted, and you knew you couldn't give her that. You knew you were probably ghost, but you wanted to smash anyway. And he was like, well, I wouldn't even think about it, like, trying to get over on her. But I'm like, but that's what that is. When you know what someone wants, and you only have plans to jump in, jump out, and ghost. And that was the only response. What do you think?
I mean, have you ever had a thought of like, yeah, I'm gonna ghost you?
Honestly, probably, yeah.
Because I have. The thing though is, my ghosts aren't ever successful. They keep hitting me up.
Cut it out.
Yeah, no, he called and left that voicemail. She's left me alone. He hasn't called again, so.
The Walmart weirdo.
Yeah, he's like block. I told you he like called from some other number, like left a whatever.
Yeah, I remember. Weird. Okay.
But it's not just him. Other people. I'm not good at ghosting. Or the ghosts in my closet, like they be real Casper. Like they just keep coming back. Hella friendly.
They like to talk. Yeah. Well, I'm trying to get better with it. Just trying to, put some good out there in the world. But
I do feel like, you should. I think I'm realizing, like, honestly, there's no need to waste my time, waste their time. So
that's what I usually say. in the message. I don't want to waste your time. And usually when you say that, people feel like, okay, normal people with, who respect themselves and really just want to move on. They'll take that as, you know what, I appreciate. I appreciate that you don't want to waste your time. And again, I think I said this in our dating episode. It takes a lot of awareness for someone to say, we want two different things, or, hey, I don't really feel it with you, but I don't want to waste your time. Why would you want someone to waste your time? And if you have to double, triple text someone, if it's so much for them to respond to you or so much for them to hang out with you, they're probably just not that interested in you. And they could be interested in you again. I mean, I guess come around, maybe you didn't make it into this dating round.
Do you believe in the saying of like right person, wrong time?
I do.
Will they technically be the right person then if it was the wrong time?
I think so. I think in the same way that 4 years ago, the type of dude that you would have went for isn't your type now. I think the type of person that may have been right for you 4 years ago may have, or wrong for you 4 years ago may be right now. And that's not like if someone was super disrespectful and you're just trying it again, but someone who's just like, when I was younger, I would have went for this type of guy, but like now I'm older, and I think you're more of
what type of guy do you think you're going to end up with? Oh, let's hear it.
You want to end out with this one? I'm going to have to think for a minute.
Okay.
Do you know now?
I mean, my answer really hasn't deviated.
Okay, then go ahead and.
Well, no, we'll finish the questions and then we'll come back.
Okay, I'm right.
We got like one more question, right?
Two more than your favorite.
How many questions were there?
We only had 5. Okay, so one more than your favorite.
Yeah,
so 2 total.
All right. So.
Wait. There's one more before then. Hold on. Okay. What puts you? Oh no, there are 2 more than your favorite.
God damn.
Yeah. I mean, there are 5 total. No, there's 6. My bad. What puts you in a fuckable category versus a dateable category? I think we asked the majority of dudes this one,
and they did not really answer it.
They don't know what they want.
The consensus was, "I'll look at you," and like the vibe. And then somebody said, "I'm gonna try to fuck," and if you say yes, then you're just fuckable. But if you say no, I'm gonna still try to fuck. And I was like.
Yeah, so there's a lot of different ones. I feel like there are 2 different categories of dudes with this one, because one, especially the last one, he was like, he said you can't tell just based off looking at someone. He said conversation matters to him because he's been, what do they call it, sapiosexual, whatever. He's been attracted to someone's mind.
Who the fuck said that?
No, not that word, but that's what people call it. Like when you're more attracted.
What nigga said this?
I've seen that in someone's bio. I'm a sapiosexual.
No, not the
The last one from Atlanta.
Okay, we gotta cut that part out, but.
All right, whatever.
I feel like you're making him sound a lot more intelligent.
No, well, he was the only person who said that. He said that he can't tell just by looking at someone. He was the one who said vibe, but he said based off personality and vibes. I wrote it down.
Because I know Chanel's favorite group of males, our brothers from across the Atlantic. Who? They were saying vibes.
Oh. But no, he was like, he's been attracted to someone, like their mind and like who they are as a person, and not been attracted to them physically, and like vice versa. So that's why he said, it matters.
Has that happened to you? Where you've been like attracted to like not their physical?
No.
For real, me too.
No. Honestly, it sounds terrible, but
there's people like you've been attracted to, and then I've had some where like you're initially attracted to them. Like the more you hear them talk, I'm like, bro, you're really not that cute. Like there's this young boy I remember growing up. He was like the quintessential like everybody's elementary favorite. He was like light skinned, he had like green eyes, and like he was annoying. And I was like, honestly, you're not even cute no more.
For me to like talk to you and for me to take you seriously and even want to move in that type of direction, like I have to be physically attracted to you. But there are things that move you up.
Yeah, and I think that is another thing. Like, there has to be a certain level of physical, but I've done where I'm not as physically attractive and talk to them, and you grow to like appreciate them as a person.
I think women do that though. I think women are more likely to talk to someone openly who's not as attractive.
I feel like we work off potential. Like, okay,
too
like
much.
This person could, like, if the stars align exactly.
And I squint one eye and close the other.
On March 11th at 7:48 p.m., like,
he could get it.
You know, like, we could work. This could be it.
Yeah. So where we work with a lot more, like you said, just potential. And men are just like, look, I'm going to rate you in my mind, put you in a particular category, and we're going to do what we do. But
I think I want to ask that question to a lot more people. Our sample size for this is pretty small.
Yeah, that's true. It was not a lot of people out there.
No, I'm not blaming us. I'm just saying that's a question I really would like the answer to. I'm curious. I would like to ask more people.
So I'm going to read off a few more of the answers.
Okay.
The Uber driver said he feels like it depends on what he's ready for, which I appreciate. And because if you're just like, you out here, you just want to suck and fuck, and like that's just where you are. You could come across a woman who's more, I guess in a different time period you would think is dateable, but because you're not even thinking that way, you may just put her in a fuckable category because to you, for 2021, everyone is in a fuckable category, and that's it. One guy said it's the way she dresses. If you come out the house, if you come out the house, so he couldn't date in 2010. 2010 to 2015 was not his time to shine because that was the trend.
It was what?
27.
Now in 2010, he was 18, maybe.
Yeah, okay. The way she dresses, if she comes out the house looking and see through things, she's looking for attention. Wouldn't approach a woman like that. But as he said that, there was actually a guy walking with his girlfriend and her titties were out and he looked proud as hell. Like,
well, I feel like you should be with somebody who loves you for who you are. Like, there is somebody out there that, like, the thing that somebody else didn't like about you, they're going to, like, love it out. And another thing that I don't understand is, like, I had the boobs when you met me. If you met me out in a social setting where I was dressed a certain type of way.
And you talked to me.
Why am I expected to now change? Because that's who I was. You met me where I was at. Like,
right.
I'm supposed to now be a covered up church girl. But and the crazy thing, right? That same nigga came up. I had my boobs out. Same nigga, like 30 minutes later. You too pretty to be sitting by yourself. So
made no mention of the questions we asked him before. He probably didn't even register that we were the same group of people.
That nigga was on some fracking knuckle bullshit.
Yeah. So. Some other dude said a lot of stuff, presentation, first vibes, talking to a lot.
Vibes
he said
is obviously
to a lot of guys, and I'm like, well
how would you know?
Right.
Yeah.
Shady stuff, being on social media.
But he also had on a tie-dye sweatsuit set, so a grain of salt with that one.
Someone else said how a guy sees her, if he sees a future or not. The conversation, you can't just know by looking at someone. And then the guy who I sent the HR message to was like, if I offer and she goes for it,
that nigga
it's debatable. This man also sends dick pics and like unwarranted.
Are they nice looking? It's nothing worse than an ugly dick pic. Like, keep
I
that
don't know.
shit
I
to
think
yourself.
it has some girth, but it doesn't have length.
And that makes a difference.
It does. So, but basically, okay, what I found interesting about his was like he sounds like the guy that I met in like November of last year was like, we treat all women like hoes, or he does. We treat all women like hoes just to see what you're about, and from there we'll pick. It's like, so you want to have sex because if she throws it at you, if she says I'm with it, you'll automatically put her in a fuckable category. It's like, so do you want her to want to have sex with you or not? Because that same person have also been like, hey, like, can you calm down like some of the sexual talk? Because you keep saying you want to get to know me, but
and all they're trying to do, I hate that. Like, literally, I hate that. And that's my biggest strife. Like, bro, if you just want to fuck,
just say that.
And that's okay. If I don't want to fuck, guess what? That is also okay because I be trying to fuck sometimes, and that's fine. But like,
that's what I told him. I was like, hey, like sometimes I'm not gonna lie to you, I get weak. It's getting warm outside. You'll be the first person I call. He was like, no, we can talk. No, you don't want that.
You
so
literally
why would you
don't
just
want
say that?
And I'm like, people have literally like, I mean, like bold-faced lied. Like literally, like, bro, I'm like, hey, I'm not trying to fuck. I don't want any of that. Like, I'm really not on that type of time. Oh, I'm not on that. I swear. Blah blah blah. So then you pull up. Immediately, you're trying to go to the bedroom. Like,
seriously,
how do you not see the problem with that?
Are they really just okay with like just bold-faced lying
for pussy? Like, and you don't have to do that. They're like, pay for it. Pay for it. Like, if it's that serious, but like,
I know
does it feel good to like?
He was just paying for it. He was on a Sugar Baby website, and he was like, at least I know what I'm getting.
I feel like that's the way to go.
And that's how some of them think anyway. Oh, if I paid for this meal, I should get pussy. So why don't you just don't skip the meal?
They ain't even trying to be paying. That's another thing. Like,
concern over money you don't make.
Yeah, whatever. I hate that. Like, lying or disguising your actual intent. Like, you're wasting my time. Like, especially, like, if I've been explicit. Like, I've had several people, like, bold-faced lie. Oh, I'm not on that. I want to do this and this. Like, and you don't.
So just say that.
Yeah.
Because you be out here just being confused.
Well, no, it's just you're lying. And then you're going to try to coerce me into, like, that's not, how does that feel good?
I don't know. I think men are afraid that the women who are actually on the type time are just not their type. I'm like, well, maybe you should adjust your type.
That's not even it. It's just, I feel like guys don't like consensual sex as much as, like, as weird as that is, like, culturally. I don't think that they like a resounding, oh, I also like to have sex. Mm-hmm. Like, all the controversy that WAP and the Cardi B songs get is really weird when it's the same lyrics as their other favorite rappers. Like, there's nobody emailing the Grammys about
Uncle Luke,
Little Baby, Lil Wayne, all these other artists who have said explicit. Rick Ross, he has some
thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
it's like, so what do you want? Do you want women to have sex or not?
Like, and it's weird. Like, if a woman enjoys sex, you don't like that, but you want her to have sex, or you want to have sex with her. That's my biggest thing.
I really think we should just, number one, men, stop thinking that women dress literally just for the purpose of you. That's one thing. And two, when it comes to, like, having sex, wouldn't you want someone to want it like you? Doesn't that make sense? I don't know why society still feels like it's created around sex is literally just for male
pleasure
and consumption. Like, oh, if she likes it, it's wrong.
Yeah, it's really weird how, like, women are such an afterthought when it's like,
don't you need? We're going to get into the last question. That kind of
all right. Might as well get into it now. Okay. All right. So the last question was.
Well, this wasn't it. This wasn't the last one. We have one more. We have one more, and then that one. Okay, so this other question is more like, a sensitive question. We asked men, do you tell your friends when you've been heartbroken? Do you tell your niggas when you've been heartbroken? Let's see. Have you ever been heartbroken? Because I don't think you've ever told me that.
Probably, looking back on it, no, but I've had my feelings hurt.
Okay. I remember one person you told me about, from this summer.
And I wasn't even like, it was more like my feelings were hurt, but it was just more on you literally begged me to be vulnerable for you to ghost me. I was literally like, we don't have to be that deep. Like, I don't want to emotionally unpack. Like,
yeah.
Like, why would you ask me to be open and all this stuff?
Mm-hmm. Just to ghost, just to hear it and
just to fucking ghost. Like, we could have just kept it as it is what it is.
Yeah.
I was upset at that, but I think that was not necessarily heartbroken. It was just more like, bro, it literally just did not have to happen. I didn't have to do that.
Mm-hmm. I don't know. I feel like I told my therapist.
I don't. I really don't think I've been heartbroken. There's been people, like I said, that hurt my feelings. But
so when we took to the streets and we asked dudes. One said yes, but he didn't want to go into detail. This dude was actually kind of rude when we called, and it's like, nigga, you picked up.
Oh yeah,
you picked up.
You commented on my little story. I look nice. I was like, this is why I don't be fucking with you.
Yeah, he was pretty rude, but he
picked up and he was like, "Oh, I don't want to do." And I'm like, "What are you?" I asked, "I'm like, hey, are you busy?"
I feel like we were very nice and like asking, "Hey, we don't want to take up your time, but if you would like to answer these questions, we would appreciate it."
And then he was like, "Okay," and then he was rude and snarky.
Yeah, so
fuck him,
basically. Another guy said it depends on the friend, which I get. You don't need to tell everyone. And the last guy said, yes, you have to tell someone. You can't keep that into yourself. And in full detail. But I think the one guy who said it depends on your friends, he was speaking from the place of some friends would be like, man, fuck that bitch. Mm-hmm. Like, she didn't do anything anyway, like trashing her. And as a dude who just got his heart broken, you're like, but I loved her. Like, that was me. We were it. And honestly, I think when it comes to male friendships, I think y'all could afford to be, it's weird how it's homoerotic, but it's not vulnerable.
It's like you guys put your male relationships are like one of the most important to you, and a lot of times I feel like you guys do things for your male relationships, like the women you date and all that other stuff, and those seem to be like a high regard. We kind of touched on that, but it's weird how you guys don't feel comfortable being vulnerable with other men, but you expect us to be comfortable and vulnerable with men. Like, there was this video, another reason why I took a break, of this guy, and he's like basically trying to fight this woman that works at McDonald's. And the video is being recorded by a male. And in the video, you can see 3 or 4 guys, like, just standing there watching this man, like, oh, I need to beat this bitch's ass and, like, chase her. And, like it was incredibly crazy. And I'm like, how are y'all, like, if y'all are afraid of men, how are we not supposed to be afraid of men?
Oh, I'm not like them. I'm not like the other. I'm pretty sure anyone who is like that doesn't say it first.
Hey, that's the biggest thing. But it's very weird.
Yes.
And then also it's weird how y'all don't have a safe space for vulnerability, but like for violence, that is something that y'all are like, oh.
I think, so I've been hearing a lot of men say, oh, well, men, especially black men, we don't have these spaces. And it's like, you all don't have them because you don't create them. If we waited on men to create these spaces for women, we would never have them. That's why black women have them, because we created them, because we see a need and we do it.
But I'm just saying, like, within your friends, like, I remember when people would get exposed for like sexual assault and stuff on Twitter. That was kind of like a thing, and it still kind of happened on and off. A lot of people's frat brothers or friends, oh, like, he's not like that, blah blah blah, and stuff. But like, y'all don't have a space. You have a space for that, but you don't have a space to be like, I'm depressed, which is really interesting,
right?
And then like, or the whole idea of like violence against women is something that y'all have time and space for. But I digress.
But you don't have time to tell your best friend, who you would consider your best friend. You can't even call it best friend. Like, oh, that's my nigga. Like, it's like, excuse,
your male relationships are such a high regard, but you're not honest with them. It's very weird. It's very weird.
Say, hey, bro, like, I've been having really high anxiety, or this girl really hurt me. Like, you can't say that. For what exactly? What is actually stopping you? What do you think? Someone who's supposed to be your friend, your close friend, what do you think they're going to say back to you that makes it so hard?
Mm. All right, last question. Finally, I've been waiting for this.
Go ahead.
What does a vagina feel like?
Like the clip.
All right. Well, I literally just sent somebody a voice message, so we'll hear it,
and then we'll discuss the other answers, because we had a lot of answers to this.
The other one is my favorite. Can y'all hear this?
Vagina with a condom. See, there's 2 different types of vaginas and 2 different types of feelings. It depends on if you're going in with a condom, if you're going in butterball naked. You know what I'm saying? So if I'm going in with a condom, it feels like jumping in the water. It feels like jumping in the pool for warm-ups before swim meet with a trash bag around you. You feel the water, but you don't feel the water. You know what I'm saying? But then with the condom on, you know what I'm saying?
He meant to say condom
swimming,
off.
you know what I'm saying? We in the 200 breaststroke going crazy in the spot. I'm telling you. Shit feels great.
So,
shit feels great.
Shout out to him.
Yeah, shout out to him. Okay, I'll read off some of the other things, right? Okay, so indescribable.
Wait, there was another one. I don't know if, did I tell you?
There's another voice message?
No, I think it was a text. Let me scroll. Okay, I think it's kind of the same thing. Like a mouth on steroids.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Like vagina feels so soft and warm and wet. It's like a mouth on steroids.
It's indescribable. I'll save the one on top, the one for the last. But it's indescribable. It's warm, inviting. Feels like heaven.
Oh yeah.
Warm, soft cup of water. Amazing. Warm, wet, slippery. Warm jelly. Okay, now go ahead.
Oh, okay. And our favorite.
Shout out to this nigga for creativity.
And he says he listens. So his said that it felt like a whole bunch of tiny little hands gripping and massaging your dick simultaneously.
That one took me all the way out.
I was like, bro, what the fuck?
And then he was like, have you ever looked inside of a vagina? That's what it looks like.
Now I've got to get a microscope.
Just pick it down there. Okay, but we also came across this, which is something controversial. Depends on the woman. Depends on her walls, drier versus wetter, open versus tight.
Saying women who've had more sexual partners are more open. And I was like, y'all do understand that, like, a stimulated vagina is an open and warm, like the body
reacts,
does that so that it doesn't
dry
hurt.
and tight,
She's not liking it.
She don't want it.
Yeah, and even if it's like wet and tight, like she's not relaxed. Like the vagina's a muscle, like, and y'all dick's not really like doing that for real.
Or the work.
Yeah, all right, you think about a baby's coming out of that thing, like a penis.
So unless you 8 pounds 6 ounces, you ain't doing shit.
With some shoulders, relax, calm it all the way down.
Yeah. But okay, so then what are Kegels for? Because aren't Kegels supposed to like tighten? Is that also what you think?
I think that's for like kind of like after labor, because you know after, honestly, the more I learn about pregnancy, I have found zero benefits. Like, like legit, like it is like the wreaking havoc. I want you guys to like really. I feel like we need to cherish pregnancies and women who give birth a lot more than we do. Like that shit, you will literally rip your fucking hole from your vagina to your butthole.
Just for the nigga look like your daddy.
Your nose would spread, your feet would spread. This girl's whole stomach. It's black. Just like, your
crazy.
boobs, like
You can't get no
your
bigger.
hair.
Just not.
That's what I'm saying. I literally do not need my boobs to get any bigger at all.
No, not at all.
I don't need my feet to grow. I don't need nothing like to swell. I know on my dad's side, my cousins, theirs nose when they had babies, it kind of spread.
And then niggas, they don't even care. So I told someone that, hey, like I have back issues because like my boobs are huge. And I was like, you know, I'm thinking about getting a reduction. He was like, no.
Yeah.
Like,
it's just for their consumption. Like, bro, I'm uncomfortable, but fuck niggas. But yeah, like pregnancy is like legit, like the reason why you have morning sickness is because your body is trying to get rid of this foreign cells that are stealing nutrients. Like it's literally the like I'm dead ass serious. I'm like the benefit is a baby
that you have to pay for.
That like that's another thing. You really gotta pay for like a baby to give birth. It's just it's a scam.
It's expensive.
It's so expensive. And
yeah.
then like you don't even get paid maternity leave. And you're like you as a woman, if you have a baby, you're penalized a lot of times in the workplace.
Definitely. And you're giving
everybody
like,
that listens
roles.
to this as a man, I need you to buy a really nice push gift. like if you really fuck with the podcast, I'm expecting push gifts.
Explain what that is, because I didn't know what that was until you said something.
Oh, a gift like from the woman that is pushing out of your baby. For me, my ideal push gift is a fucking car. At minimum. That depends if I don't have it. Like, unless you've already iced my car out. A nice, thoughtful gift, because, like, she literally put her body through the ringer and back for basically, like, pregnancy lasts about a year.
Mm-hmm.
It's like 10 months.
Yeah.
And, like, your skin.
And
then also, and a lot of times people get the, what is it called? Abdominal recti, where your stomach muscles stretch. So, like, you can't work out. You can't move. Like, you're in a lot of pain trying to get your muscles to go back to normal.
I swear, the most like disgusting men on the planet are men who cheat on their wives when they're pregnant because they can't have sex. The most disgusting.
Or like then the waiting the 6, all that stuff. Like
you're dying because you
can't have
serious?
sex for like a little over a month.
Like, are you fucking kidding me?
Because you can have, and then there's other, and then it's what is also crazy. Like I saw this thing where this woman said that like her health would be in jeopardy if she were to like get pregnant again. So she was like, you know what? Let me go tie my tubes. Mm-hmm. And they were like, you need your husband's signature. But like for the husband, all he had to do was say, I want to get my
snip.
Yeah, and like in and out.
Yeah.
So I think that is also goddamn crazy. You guys just need to be more responsible because like women really go through a lot to bring you here. Like Tupac said, like, how do we all come from a woman and hate women so much? That make no sense. But we are over an hour into this episode, so let's wrap it up.
Who are we blocking? And then we'll answer who do we think we'll end up with. I want to block that guy outside of the club who was being rude as hell. Like, what is this for? You're literally standing in line to get into a club.
Yeah, bro. Like, we weren't trying to cut.
That's what they thought.
That's what I told you they were gonna think too.
Why?
Because I don't know. I was like, I knew that, but like he.
And I even tried to like put the disclaimer out there, like we're not even going in here, like at all.
But he was a little rude, and also the other guy that was like answer the FaceTime while chilling at home, not doing anything, being snooty with the answers, bruh. Fuck you. That's why I left your messages on red. But
period.
Who else?
Niggas who are still out here lying and perpetrating for pussy. Just be honest.
Yeah, and the guys who don't do foreplay and warm the vagina up.
Yeah.
Is there such thing as too much foreplay?
It depends, honestly. I find that when I watch a lot more porn, probably because I'm more conditioned to like kind of get to the point. But when I'm not, no. I like all that stuff. And honestly, I like foreplay throughout the day. Like, send me a cute message. Like, and it don't even have to be like a nasty message. Honestly, like a cute message. Like, I love good morning texts. They really warm me, but not GM. The fuck is that? Send that to one of your niggas.
What's a good morning text I would warm you? Oh, okay. Look at her happy dancing. This girl is disgusting.
I find it. I said good morning. I hope I'm not going to read that because she'll judge me. But he said, good morning, beautiful. I hope you have an amazing day. By the way, I just smiled a little bit because my name came across his phone.
You sent the good morning first?
Yes, but usually he sends it. I just happen to be up first.
Oh, okay. I mean, I don't know. I guess.
But all that, like, leading up, like, I really do need the date. I really enjoy all that stuff. Like, all that stuff to me is included in foreplay.
Yeah, no, you're.
So by the time I see you, I'm ready to go. Come on.
And then if they're respectable, she's like, I don't get it. Like,
fuck up. I'm not like that. I'm really. I feel like I have been PTSD traumatized by niggas who be perpetrating for pussy, to the point where I now have to think like, okay, someone did something nice for me and they didn't try it. This is good. Yeah, this is a good thing. I feel like I am getting better. She be trying to paint me like I hate nice guys, and that's not it. I like guys that actually like if they're nice, you know, it's great. But yeah.
All right, we went out. He didn't try it. I just don't get it.
No. Okay, I think you're thinking about bases when I say he didn't try it. What I mean by try it is I mean like break the touch barrier. That's what I mean by trying it. Like, on
bitch, that's what I'm thinking you talking about either. Like, I'm not confused.
If I go on a date with someone and I like them, they like me, like the attraction is there, and they don't go in to hug me or they don't go like absolutely like nothing to me, because I know physical touch is like high up there for men, I'm almost like, okay, are we friend zoning each other? Like, those thoughts are going through my mind. And it's not a final thing. It's just something that I take note of.
Boyfriend number 4? And I rest my case. Check me, bitch.
We had a conversation about that, and I was like, I be joking. I ain't shit.
Like, I think the thing is, like, she thinks of me as like this really thing, like mean to niggas, and like I don't be doing it.
She is,
and she be acting like she not, like, we friends for a reason, ho. Like, we low key the same person. Like, we're more similar than we're different.
All right, whatever. So
like, go ahead and finish the story because you're gonna prove my point.
I think we had a conversation. I was like, well, you friend zone me, so, you know, it don't matter. And he was like, whatever, he never said that he friend zoned me. I was just like, look, the window kind of passed. it's like a good like month. I can even give it like 3 months where something was going to happen, you know. And if it doesn't, it's kind of harder. I mean, it's not like a never, but it's significantly harder because now, you know, I'm viewing you in a certain light.
It sounds like you just friends on him.
No, I'm too young for him anyway. According to him, even though he's a sweet spot nigga.
Well, I mean, he be out here acting like he gonna friends. I'm talking to you again. Liar. Put a bitch on.
He don't listen to the freak episodes. He probably won't even listen to this.
And he's rude. Period. All right.
Nah, he's a really nice guy. So we're going to answer this question.
That's why he's what?
Shut up. He's a nice guy. He just, I don't know. I figured he didn't want anything like that with me because he never like tried. I mean, like 4 to 5 days.
Hear this?
Never even.
Do y'all hear this?
4 to 5 days, never went in for a hug. And I said that, and he was like, well, yeah. And he didn't really have like a reason as to why. But he did ask, he was like, so why haven't you gave me a hey handsome text? Mm-hmm. Because apparently on these Instagram streets or Twitter, because he's really on Twitter, handsome means I'm trying to hand you some ass. So ladies, be aware. Don't be sending hey handsome unless you're ready to give it up. It's a thing.
Get out.
It's a thing.
All the way out.
It's a thing.
Oh, this bitch's alarm to kick me out.
It's not. I try to rest on Sundays, the day of the Lord. You know, shout out to big OG Jesus. So I typically start my Sundays at around 12. So
we're almost done.
She is so extra. I don't even be trying to kick her out. It's just
no. I meant like the episode. What else we got to talk about?
Who do you think you'll end up with?
All right, boom, pow. So like. Before you go to sleep, do you ever like have like a dream concoction that you make up?
No.
Like before you rest, like you're like, okay, well, this is gonna sound
barely
weird.
You do.
I don't even want to talk about it anymore. So
just answer the damn question.
All right. So before I go to sleep, a lot of times, what I feel like I'll dream, my dream scenario. There's this guy who is like the opposite of what I would consider my current type to be. So he's like a little bit younger than me, right? He's still tall, but he's like light skin, you know, like sometimes he has dread, sometimes he doesn't. He's light eyes. And we have a son named Jaden.
Jaden. That's a cute name.
I mean, I like the name. So, and the thing is, oftentimes either we're like on or off, and like that's a big thing, but he's more trying to be on, and I'm just like, go tell hi to your daddy. Like, and so we met at like a club or whatever, but he's a tattoo artist, you know, and stuff.
Okay.
So
Carson's also the type of person where she has her whole entire wedding planned out and the ring she wants. However, if she were to, she could be dating someone for like 2 years straight. And I mean like seriously dating someone and then this person proposed and she'll be like, what? We were like that?
Bro,
bitch, yes.
I was like, oh, you like me for real? I feel like I'm going to get proposed. I'm definitely not going to see it.
Meanwhile, I think she'll be the first person out of the 4 of us, out of me, her, Kennedy, and Cristal.
Cap.
I think she'll be the first one
you.
to get married.
It's going to be you. I feel like
I will shock us all, and I'll just be on rich auntie energy for the rest of my life.
That is big old cap. I do feel like if I were to get settled down, I think it'll be more like a whirlwind. Like, how did a bitch end up like out here married with a 3-year-old? Like, what happened to me? But I doubt it. I don't think it's going to be me. I don't think it's going to be me. I feel like the real shocker would be Cristal.
That would be.
And she's going to with a white man. Just all the way. Like, huh?
That would be the shocker. Who do I feel like I'll end up with?
But I don't know. I feel like I probably, at the same time, I don't even know if I'll end up with anybody.
I feel like, so as sweet spot niggas are definitely my favorite, but I feel like I'll end up with someone who's my exact age. I feel like I will. I feel like I'll end up with someone who's my exact age. Cause I don't know, I've been feeling that lately. But I feel like they'll have, of course, you know, a stable career with some figures, you know, at least 6, you know, at some point. He'll be someone who's professional. But someone who, like, has a heart for people, because I really care about people. So if you don't, like, I don't think we will last very long. Someone who's family-oriented, like, family is really, really important to them. I don't know what that person will look like, though. outside of like thick. That's about it.
Yeah, okay, so I feel like the person is a lot more skinnier than I like too. Like low key a twig with just a big old heart.
Where the weight goes somewhere.
Yeah. I don't know. But I tend to not like skinnier guys. I feel like I'm a bodacious woman. I'll use that word. So I want somebody to make me feel
small,
cute, and petite because I don't feel that a lot of times.
Yeah, I want to steal your hoodies and I want to make sure they fit.
Yeah. Yeah.
So a few times that I have been over someone's place and they were like, you can't wear your street clothes on my bed. I've been so glad that they were thicker than me because, like, you know, their gym shorts, you know, kind of falling off. It's a real good ego boost.
Yeah, somebody said, oh, like, my shirt's so big. And I'm like, it's really not, but that's the right thing to say.
Right. So that's kind of like along the lines of who I think I'll end up with. That's not even super specific. Maybe I'm just trying to be more open. But I feel like I definitely, at this point, I feel like.
Girl, shit, it might be a woman. I'm really just, we out here just guessing. I'm probably going to be by myself. I think I'm going to be the old spinster. I'm like, girl, fuck that nigga. Come out with me to Atlantic City, bitch. Let's get out. Ooh. Fuck them kids.
It won't be me. Okay.
Oh, wow. She said just when she's going to hang up her hat. That's so boring.
Bitch, when I tell you, when I'm engaged, not even like married, when I'm engaged, like stay clear of me. I'm going to find every sentence to work in. My fiance and I are doing this. So
that's why I don't want her to. I don't want to lose her. Stay in the streets.
My fiance. I mean, I'm hoping that I'm not one of those girls that completely.
You literally just said that's exactly what you're about to do.
No, I'm just saying, like, my conversation and speech, like, I'll probably just, you know, flash my ring more often.
All you're going to do. Like, I guess we just got to cherish our friendship now. Because it obviously is not going to stand the test of time.
So dramatic. Okay. Well, world, there you have it.
It's a long episode. Thank y'all for listening. So we'll come back with the survey says part 2, part 3. We're going to be asking niggas questions. Probably find some questions to ask these women.
Mm-hmm. And try different cities.
Yeah. We're trying to travel, you know. We want to record at this one podcast place in New York for our 1-year anniversary. So keep your fingers crossed that we can do that.
Yep.
Because that might actually be on like YouTube. We're going to get real cute. I'm actually excited for that. I kind of really want to.
That's in September.
Yeah. I don't think we should wear the matching shirts though. We need to get more than one pair of merch. We should both have merch on, but
be real head ass.
But like not super, super head ass.
Right. And we out.
Yep, it's a long time. Thanks for listening to us ramble on and on and on and on.